Hi, welcome to Breaking Free Fridays, or welcome back if you've been following this series. This is Kara, and it's so great to have you here. So, today I want to start off by asking you a question that seems so easy on the surface to answer, and yet you might find it actually a little bit difficult. So, do you know what you really want? And this could be just in general or related to different areas of life. What you want in health, in relationships, in finances, in work and career, professional, in purpose, in your spiritual practice, just any of the core categories of life, and in general. What do you want? Do you know what you want? So often we really seek realizing a life of our dreams, and we might not be fully in touch with what it is that we really want. And that is such an important place because it brings clarity and focus to the direction that we're going. And one of the things that is important to realize that I wanted to share in bringing up this topic is, when we think about what we want, it's not about what we think we should want. It's not about what family wants or culture wants or society tells us we are supposed to want, or what is connected to a general meaning of success, and that relates to what we want. It's really at a soul level, like, what do you want that's deeply calling you, that when you connect to it, it actually lights you up. You feel a sense of happiness, fulfillment. There's a difference in what you notice in your body. It's uplifting, it's nourishing, it's something that really taps into you as a unique individual. Not what's just told to us that, this is what you want, or this means that you'll be happy, or it's really going back within and having that deep connection to your heart's desire. And unfortunately, we often get conditioned out of that. And in some ways, this is kind of a natural process with our brain, the primal part of our brain, that's trying to keep us small, and as a result, trying to keep us safe. And in a sense, that's often where some of this conditioning and the limiting beliefs that get piled on connect into disconnecting us from our desires and the clarity of what we want, because it's an effort, again, to keep us safe. But in doing that, it's like it's slamming a door just right in front of the possibility of actually creating and receiving the very thing that really lights us up in life, and that connects to what we really want. And one of the things that's important to think about when you're trying to go a little bit clearer into what you want is to tap into that childlike wonder within you, the inner child that is within. And that part of you that when you were small, your imagination was just running wild, and it was so easy to connect to fun and creation and exploration and adventure, and it was all in the context of something that was possible and enjoyment, something that would bring you joy, and that you could just visualize and play out and feel ignited by. And as a child, I mean, this realm is just, it's so natural. But as we grow up and we spend lifetimes trying to protect ourselves also with, oh, that's not realistic. Oh, there's not time for that, or that happens for other people. That's not for me, or I don't deserve that. There's all sorts of examples like that come into play that are limiting beliefs that are actually blocking us from not only connecting to what we want with clarity, but also blocking us from actually receiving it and co-creating it. And so that's something that's really valuable to be aware of. And one of the other big things that I wanted to address with this topic is that there is a very valuable avenue for giving us insight into what we want. And if you ever feel confused or like scrambled, or you feel just a blankness in your mind when you ask, what do I want? One of the fastest ways to really hone in on what it is that you do want is to connect to what you don't want, because we are so trained to hone in on that, and to the point where we actually get so focused on what we don't want that creates more resistance and more of what we don't want. It's the concept of, the direction of our focus is what we create. That's where the energy goes. And so the more that we're putting that energy behind what it is that we don't want, we're just reinforcing that. So think about, just for a moment, think about something that you don't want, that just comes, quick to mind. And with that, what is the opposite? Because that will start giving you some real clarity on what it is that you do want. And for example, let's say you might be feeling, resentful for overgiving, or just feeling really drained for giving so much, and then you have very little energy for yourself, for example. Those kinds of indicators on something that you might not want are real clues about, having more boundaries, more self-care. That feels really good. That's something that invites in what I really want. And so you can play with that on various aspects of life, and give yourself a moment to really either journal on that or reflect on that, and allow yourself to really flourish in the idea of what you want, and imagining and feeling yourself being the person that actually is a part of your life, the identity of the person that you are, with that a reality in physical form for you. And the more that you bring that in, and that you invite that in, it starts loosening the grips on that resistance. And you'll find that it feels good. It feels good to really be in that realm. And one of the things that I found really valuable in terms of an awareness is when we have that understanding of what we don't want relative to what we do want. It's like that contrast. And that's the way the universe has been set up, is for us to be able to navigate through life and realize, I like water with lemon better than I like water with lime. Or I like, water better than tea, or, whatever the case is. But when you imagine from that standpoint on something that's really minor, and it's almost like you're identifying something that you like better than another thing, but there's no charge to it. It's just like, that I prefer that. Well, the same thing exists in all the different areas that we experience life. It's just some things happen to be a lot more prickly. And so it can take, some practice and mastery in terms of our skills in identifying these limiting beliefs and really allowing ourselves some grace to kind of disentangle from those replays of things that we don't want, and allowing ourselves to kind of leap out of that carousel and allow that willingness to open up to something bigger, better possibilities, more in alignment. So this practice of the contrast, it's all around allowing us to find greater alignment in life, more centeredness in what is authentic to us in our individual and unique expression in life. And I'll just give you an example that I think is really telling for this, because each of us, we want different things in life. And for one person, something that would really light them up might be a nightmare for another person. But that's what's so beautiful, is the more that we are able to navigate through that contrast, and sometimes the contrasts feel like failures, and we can have limiting beliefs around failures, and instead of really seeing like a misstep or a challenge or something, or I made this mistake and now I know better what I want, or this works better the next time, we can fall into these places where we're beating ourselves up about that, or like ruminating around the thing that we don't want. And those are all invitations for, awareness of the limiting beliefs, of, repatterning that to an empowering belief, awareness of, emotional patterns that we can get stuck in, awareness of where we might have energy in our body that needs to be released. So there's a lot of opportunities here, and make it fun. I just really invite you to tap into that inner child and give yourself that moment of fun to really explore what it is that you want, without allowing that's not realistic. It just allow the possibility. And if you're like me, I believe that, that the universe is just a source of limitless possibility and potential. And the more that we are divinely aligned, the more that we allow for the most incredible synchronicities, the greater ease and flow in co-creating in our lives. And so there's this beautiful possibility that's waiting for you. And it just takes that step to get a little more clear about what you want. Let me know, share in the comments about what's coming up for you. And if you're enjoying these videos, please share them with friends and loved ones. Subscribe, send a like, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And here is to your next level of empowerment and breaking free. Okay, bye for now.